some kind of family friendly, I guess.
Yeah,
What's going on, crypto cousins? It's your Bitcoin baby daddy here with another episode of Crypto and Culture. So today I have Jay from the Kettle YouTube channel. He also has a very vibrant Discord community. Jay, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. Thanks for having me on. We had a great chat recently.
Oh yeah, we definitely had a great live stream. What was it, Wednesday or was it Thursday? I feel
I
like
think
it
it was
was.
Wednesday.
I feel like it was Wednesday too, and we had a great chat. So you guys definitely had to go check that out. Check out that live stream, and flick. If you understand, if you remember the joke,
Yeah!
if you remember the joke from the last episode, man, go ahead, check out that. Check it out if you don't remember the joke or if you don't know the joke. But I have Jay Turner here from the UK. Not UK. I keep
Well,
saying.
I was born in the UK. I left the UK like a year ago, so it's kind of true. I am from the UK
Okay,
originally.
cool. But
My birthland.
you're British, right?
Mm.
Americans
I'm
don't
as
have that good
British as they
British.
come.
Yes, Americans don't have that good British accent, so I'm not even gonna try. Another little snippet from last episode, if you guys don't remember. But I wanted to get Jay on the channel today just so he had me on his channel, and I just like he covers a wide variety of topics, but I do like when he talks about just like political things and going into how some of this works, like Parliament and all that good stuff. So thank you for coming to the channel. How you been since the lockdown, man? Like we've been tight, bro. I've been stuck at home.
Yeah. Well, obviously for you Yankee Devils, you fucking
Eee.
resistant fucking bastards, Republican bastards. Anyway, for you don't
Yee.
have nothing yet. You don't have nothing when it comes to this coronavirus. Let me give you, for everyone that doesn't know, who's not been following my channel. Basically, I live in Cyprus, which is out in the Mediterranean, near Israel and all that. And basically, we are on like hardcore lockdown. You haven't seen lockdown like you've seen in Cyprus. Basically, we they shut all the pubs and everything, all the non-essential businesses, like 2 weeks, over 2 weeks now. We have to get permission from the government to go outside. We got to text the government and be like, "Yo, can I go out?" Well, obviously not like that. We text them a number option and our passport ID number and our postcode, and then we say, and then it tells us that we can go out for an allotted time. Um, Everything's closed on a Sunday. So today is Sunday as we are recording this, and nothing is open. The only things that are allowed to be open is the bakery and the kiosk. That is it. Everything is closed unless it's medical. That's how much of a lockdown we are. We're not even allowed to go. No work's going on at all. Most people work in hospitality and whatnot. So that's all. No one's working. Um, and yeah, the streets are dead. Everyone's at home. This is life now for the government to saying at least for another minimum 14 days, but it's going to go on at least until probably mid-May, end of May, it's looking like. And the airports are
Whoa.
also closed. Yeah, the airports have been closed for 2 weeks, and they've just said they're keeping them closed for another 2 weeks. So they're not even going to let people come back who live here.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So this is like we like yeah, we haven't really seen like right now we just have I guess a curfew. So now we have a curfew in my town, in my city,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't go out past like 10 p.m. So
Oh shit!
we
Yeah, I forgot about our curfew. Ours starts at 9 p.m. and goes on till 6 a.m.
oh
Sorry.
god, yeah, so we have that curfew going down. So I think it's about like 5 or 6 a.m. as well. And then you have to go to work, or if you're working remote, you're working remote. And it's essentially we're gonna get like a version of martial law out here. At least that's what we're expecting to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's this is I never imagined it being this way. I never imagined like actually like this is kind of like a movie. Like it really is. And we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about this last time how it's just like this is just textbook. They're probably just getting all their answers from a movie in our last conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's almost like surreal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little surreal, but So now you're having to do that. So now you're making way more content than usual. You're out here pumping out content because that's really all you can do now, right?
That's my only job, bro. I'm a full-time YouTuber now. My dream for the last 3 years is to become a full-time YouTuber. Not this way, bro. It's happened.
Hey, no, but no, that's the thing. Like maybe the things like this are meant to happen. You are meant to be doing this now. You're meant to see like how it's gonna work. You're meant to do this right now. You know what I mean? I mean, not maybe from like a greater power, but it's almost programmed, just like how these markets are almost like similar and they go in cycles. Maybe, generations just go in cycles. And this is like our past generation knew about how the government can like rip you guys off. But then like now they're, going off being baby boomers and they're dying and whatever. So now it's time for the millennials to get completely raped by our financial system. You know what I'm saying? And so this the only way we even know each other is through this thing called cryptocurrency, this Bitcoin.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure that I preserve the value of my wealth. And right now, it's looking like Bitcoin's preserving my wealth better than your 401k, than your whatever you're into right now. And Bitcoin, since that 3,000 low, now you can say it. Since that 3,000 low, we've like it was like 3,800 or whatever.
Yeah, it was real low.
But we've almost doubled that now. We've almost 100x'd from that low, and that was only like a month ago. I mean, granted, people are always gonna say, well, if you were holding since like 14k and blah blah blah, and that makes sense, but it's all about how long you're going to be in the game. And if you're planning to be in the game a long time, getting in at 3,000 is not an issue for you now, is it? Or getting in at 10 is not an issue for you because you're in it for the long-term haul. So, but yeah, man, oh my God. Hold on. You got me in the mood. I'm in the mood now. Let's see. Okay. Don't mind me. I just have to do it to the mic every time because of the last time. The last time you're all in the mic and everything. I was confused.
You thought you were coming on to a PG-13 show, but turned out it's X-rated.
Very. You know what I'm saying? Very. But hold on. Will this money printer go brr? No, so I just love that, like, because you can see, like, if you look at the bottom, it's like a project by whatever, and then you like this. They have a game called The Fed, and then they got a link to the Brave browser, and then they got a donate link, and if you go to the donate link, you got a Patreon, Brave browser, Bitcoin, or Ethereum, and I'm like, oh, I love this space. I love this space because like. There are so many types of people out here in this space that can build websites, can do this, can do that, can do this, can do that. And their services are going to be needed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like building little games and whatnot. And what is it? Have you tried out LightNight yet? Have you looked into that?
LightNight? No, I don't think I have.
Oh, all right. So you see, now this is going to be a good vibe. You done fucked up now.
No.
You done fucked up now. All right, because of course I can have this. I can be in the back recording and whatnot, and I could show everybody what I'm doing. And then so it's a good way to form content or whatnot. That way, you're not always showing yourself, and then I can always edit this in and edit this out.
Yeah.
Let me put that down real quick because I was getting a little distracting right there. Let me.
Have you ever seen Snoop Dogg's channel?
No, what's good?
Oh my Lord. Shit, mate. If you watch that, you're going to end up watching one episode, and then the next thing you know, it'll be 4 days later, and you just watched literally like 8 years of backlog of the Snoop Dogg.
What in the world?
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this LightNight first before I start dumping you a link, because let's blow each other's line one at a time. Let's not just
Yeah. Because so last night, I don't know if you're on Instagram or anything like that, but they're having like Instagram battles on Instagram Live, And last night
Oh
it
yeah.
was T-Pain and Little John. They had their Instagram battle, and I'm like,
Hmm.
and they're going through like all the hit make like songs they made throughout the years, and they're battling each other with like their top 20 and seeing who had like a better playlist or whatnot. And then of course social media is just talking about that. So I find that stuff so interesting.
Oh mate, this fucking light night looks dope.
Yeah. So it's pretty much gonna be like a battle royale game, very
Yeah.
early access battle royale game, but it's gonna have a Lightning Network wallet integrated into it.
Mm.
So you're gonna be able to use like the blue wallet type stuff and like anything that's on the Lightning Network, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be able to send your Bitcoin into the game and be like you could wager your Bitcoin in like a battle or something, and like grab skins and whatnot. So it's gonna be like on the Steam block, not the Steam blockchain, the Steam like game place where you get like Steam games and stuff for PC
Yeah.
games.
I might have to VPN and fucking play it though, because those sorts of games are banned here in Cyprus. Like GTA, the what is it when you
Oh,
do
those
bank?
kind of so those kind of violent kind of games are banned there.
No, it's not the violence. It's the gambling aspects of them. They don't allow
Oh
gambling here. It's
no,
very heavily regulated.
it's not even that. Like because I guess depending on how your government regulates Bitcoin in the sense of do they consider it money or not. If they don't consider it money, then it's okay because that's really like the regulatory route they're going with it right now. So if the
Mm.
Bitcoin's not considered money, then that means that when you're technically not gambling because your government doesn't recognize it as money
Well,
until
my
they.
government kind of does.
So then that's where it gets iffy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like over here in Cyprus, we got like one of the only universities in the world where you can do cryptocurrency as a degree and stuff like that. Like we're
Wow,
really advanced here in Cyprus on it.
wow.
Yeah.
But yeah. But what were you gonna drop me? What were you gonna send me?
But I'm going to definitely download this Lightning and well, when it's because you can early
You
access now,
yeah, you can
pre-sale. But
you
yeah,
pre and it's only like what is it like $10?
yeah, something like that. I might as well
Yeah.
give it a bash. Even if I make $10, or $20, sorry. Even if I make the $20 back it from a Bitcoin, well, happy days, free game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hold it. Wait. I think I also
But
have a
yeah,
link. I have a link for myself. Hold on. Make sure it
oh,
got
he's
shook.
he's he's
Gotta
he's
show
like
my ref
I
link.
want
Wait, hold up. If you're actually gonna do this,
yeah.
because I just wanted to show you just to show you. But if you're actually gonna try it out, hold on. Let me get my ref link out.
Yeah, hit me up, bro.
And, but yeah, well, while I pull up this ref link, you were gonna pull up something.
Yeah, this is Snoop Dogg's channel, bro. Snoop Dogg has been on the YouTube game for years, bro, and I mean years. Like, let me look here. Oh, it's doing it right. And I'm trying to do it in a way that will let me. Yeah, sort by oldest. Let's see when Snoop first uploaded onto the 11 years ago, brother. Anyway,
Send me the link, boy. I want to
it's
see.
in the chat. It's in the group in the
Excuse
DMs.
me. Excuse me.
And like basically he has guests on and they sit there, they chat about shit. He does all kinds of stuff on his YouTube channel. You have all kinds of celebrities on and they'll just sit there blazing. It might be like 20, 40 minutes long, but it's like a video podcast with Snoop and it is fucking brilliant. One of my favorite ones is he had fucking what's his name? Oh shit. Who's that comedian fat tubby dude?
Lord,
He's always in he's always in the weed funny comedian movies, you know what I mean?
ah, is he white or black?
He's white. He's
You
white man.
talking about the Seth Rogen? No, not Seth Rogen. But he be with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I
I
know
think that's
exactly.
his name. I'm just skirting through the fucking
But what
things
am I
now.
supposed to go through? Am I supposed to go through like his playlists or?
Just go on videos and go to uploads and then just like scrim through them because he's got ones here from like Martin Lawrence when he was on. He's got so many, man, because he's been doing it for like 10 years. And it's like once every other week or once a week he does them.
Oh, really?
Sometimes, yeah, he's had some big names on there. A lot of them I don't know. I'm like scrolling through right now, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know who half of these motherfuckers are. A lot of rappers, obviously American actors. Oh, he had the Trailer Park Boys on. I forgot about that.
He's been on this gram for a minute.
Yeah, bro. He had Cheech and Chong on. Yeah, I forgot about the Cheech and Chong one. Oh, now you got me on a nostalgia hit, man. This is an oldie. This is like 5-year-old video. Here it is in the DMs, but it's a classic.
All right, there we go. Something I understand.
Yeah,
Oh, so y'all hip to the new age, the new world?
Yeah, I got. We got people.
We're on everything that can be on, man.
We have people that know.
Yeah.
You on that new website, eatpussy.com?
What in the world?
Not on that one, huh?
Yeah, it's just brilliant, man. Cheech and Chong just chilling with Snoop, smoking weed, chatting about all kinds of shit. I love it.
There it is. Good Lord, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Now, if I could have a studio somewhere where it was legal to smoke and I could get guests on like that, that's the kind of show I want. That's my show, long-term plan for my show.
Oh, see now that's what I'm talking about. Long-term goals
Yeah.
about your show, bro. See, that's why. So what I want with my show. So the way I want to build my show. I know you really like the one skit that I did when I got robbed, but I want to do more of that, but like more educational videos. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah, bro.
it's gonna be like simple Bitcoin stuff, but of course you're here to be entertained by whatever nonsense the skit is supposed to be. But so the very first episode that I have an idea for is it would be like me and my friends, and I would be like part a leader of like a fraternity like on a college campus, and I'd be
Yeah.
like leading this fraternity, and this fraternity would be the BTC fraternity. And the whole point, and so we would go through like I guess going through Greek like what would you call it, like just getting hazed, but in sense of cryptocurrency, and learning like what the cryptocurrency is, what Bitcoin is, the simple investment part about it, the technology, whatever, but nobody cares about the technology. But the whole idea is just to have like fun and just enjoy it and be more entertaining, because like every other crypto YouTuber, everyone's pretty much the same. And
it's true, man.
and it's all pretty much the same, but someone that's just trying to be different and like loves all the same things, just wants to be different with it. I think that's something that succeeds. But of course you have to still do some of this, the regular things that a crypto YouTuber is expected of. You know what I'm saying?
But oh, mate, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because a lot of them are basically the same, just sat there chatting church, chatting about information in the
whatever they're
market.
reading, whatever they're reading off of.
Exactly.
And granted, that's what people want to see right now, because a lot of people don't understand this thing yet. And it's crazy that Bitcoin is mainstream, but people still don't understand what it does or why it exists.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's mainstream, mate. I know bare people, like young.
I was
old.
right, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, sorry, I just found.
Sorry, I had to beat my chest. I had to beat my chest, so it made me feel good. But yeah, I'm gonna check that bit out. Let me minimize this. Oh, so this is what y'all been seeing, which I need to go back to see. No, y'all don't need to see that. Y'all want to see money printer go brrr. There we go. Brrr. So like, have you started looking into like your country's history or whatnot, and seeing how far back you can go?
What do you mean?
Because like because people
my country.
like where you're like how your politics work, like in the sense in the past. Because
Oh right, yeah, I love history, man. I love British history. I just love history in general.
Right. And so like have you been like, because there's this dude called Mike Maloney, right? And he
Right.
has this like infographic where he tells you about like the history of money and how currencies are supposed to just like fail in the long run because they always fail in the long run.
Yeah.
And so and like these are like some of the best little cartoons that like you could really get educated on like after every like major war, the loser of the battle goes through hyperinflation and their money becomes worthless,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's all just pretty much like a cycle. This happens every like generation, and if we just learned from history, we would stop repeating these things. And I was just
Mm.
like, wow, that makes so
Yeah, you're
much
gonna have to
sense.
link me up with that. I'll check that out.
Oh, hold on. Let me. Yeah, I'm up. I'm gonna drop it in the thing for you. But thinking that like all this stuff is just like history. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
we're going to keep doing this over and over again until we figure it out. Now let's see. Where you at, Mike Maloney? Mike.
That's the thing, is like throughout history, as we learn something new, we find something that's better, or we take something and improve upon it. Each cycle of a generation, things get better and improve.
Yeah, there we go. That's it right here.
This decade, history of man.
There actually is a fairly well accepted definition of what money is. The question.
All right. Boom. Boom. Done fucked up. Boom.
Oh.
Mike Maloney. So this dude's the reason why I have to share him with you because a lot of the principles that like how gold bugs be, like how what people call gold bugs are people who like store gold all the time. Mm-hmm. And essentially what people like us like who hoard Bitcoin all the time, we're essentially like these gold bugs. And we agree on a lot of the same things. And right. But the thing is like even their currency has flaws, and even Bitcoin itself has some flaws. But essentially you'll always see like a gold bug either like complimenting or trying to argue with like a Bitcoin head, you know what I'm saying, or Bitcoiner, or whatever these terms are coming from, there's always a new term for what a Bitcoin person is: a Bitcoiner, a cypherpunk, a criminal.
No, we were criminals at first, not so much now.
Now,
unless you're on the dark web.
I don't know about nothing about that.
Yeah. Same here, bro. Never done that. Never. I swear, Your Honor. I didn't do nothing, Your Honor. I plead the fifth.
I had a VPN on.
I've always got to have the VPN on. I need to have my Adult Swim content, bro.
Hey. You think cryptocurrency is gonna show up in like a Rick and Morty episode next season? That'd be so cool.
Oh, mate.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be, because it's going to be Rick, isn't it? And Morty's going to bring it up. Rick's going to turn around and go, currency is an illusion, it's bullshit. But it'll be in his framework of like, he doesn't need material things, does he? He doesn't need currency. Yeah. So he's just going to shit on it for just, being pointless in general. So that's where I think that would go if they did do that.
That'd be beautiful. That'd be beautiful. And then he probably takes a jab and says, "It doesn't matter. This thing fails anyways. Trust me, I know." And then that'd be the ultimate jab.
I'll tell you one thing though. So this is my sense, because like obviously I come from like more of in the YouTube. Like for example, you're like a madman on the crypto. Yeah, you know everything in my opinion. Yeah, okay.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I just got thank you.
And that's where you started your YouTube thing. For me, I started mine for like talking about like news, politics, global affairs, that sort of thing. Yeah, and obviously I'm into crypto because I'm a fucking mad IT nerd and I love my technology and that. So obviously that's where crypto came into my world, especially when it came to like, not going onto the dark web and not using it on there and things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a brilliant thing to use and to have. And I think personally, it's now being adopted. Like back in the day when I first got into it, it was just, you could buy the odd thing online with it. It was it was a nerd thing. It wasn't valuable very much. You'd be lucky if this was like when it was $1, but now, from where I've got into YouTube and from looking at crypto from a different sort of way from youth, you know what I mean? Like you're looking at it from like the insider who looks at all the evaluations and is talking to all the people who are, making projects or talking about it in whatever field that they want to talk about it in. Me, I'm looking at it from like the geopolitical, like political side of it and where it's being seeped into my world. And I'll give you an example of this, right? I always keep an eye on like China. I despise the Chinese Communist government. They're liars and they just cannot be trusted whatsoever. And I got very concerned when they brought in this social credit system because of the way it's authoritarian and so on and so on. But the other biggest concern was for me, and it goes back to why the American dollar is important, which simply goes, the American dollar is the default world currency, yeah? And that's where America gets its power from. Yeah, America's got military and everything else and strong and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of its actual might comes from its dollar because it's the default currency. China and Russia, especially Russia since the end of the Cold War, have wanted part of the currency game to be default currency user, like the Japanese yen and the euro and the dollar and the British pound, right? They're always the de facto currencies. And China and Russia want to get into it. But what China and a little bit Russia are doing is they're going about getting into the currency game differently now. China is actually developing its own form of blockchain technology to have its own digital currency on. And now, yeah, technically, you can't manipulate cryptocurrency because once the blockchain is made, that's it. It's set. But the thing is, if you're the programmer of it, you can program it to do what you want.
Of course.
And imagine that with a country like China. And this is the thing, is I think that could actually move China in a way of getting into the pie of global default currencies. And I think what America needs to do is create its own digital currency, the US dollar, crypto.
How do you know it's not USDC already? How do we not know it's already USDC? They're just waiting to unveil it. Because you already know they have their hands in the Coinbase already.
Yeah. It's been proven that there's American institutions that are investing in it. And the other thing is it's like, where does all the Bitcoin go that the CIA and the FBI all fucking seize? It goes in one big fat wallet, mate.
Think about, we just recently saw what was it, the U.S. Marshals? Who was it that just like sold off some Bitcoin? And you like the minimum buy entry was like $500,000, and I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck? Minimum entry. We don't even want to see you. We don't even want to know your name unless you got 500 right now.
Yep.
Oh my.
It's legally theirs, isn't it?
Oh my! Like this is a high rollers game. We talking big money.
It is now.
It's a currency.
Is the big boys game now. It's not like 10 years ago where it was just like a bunch of us nerds sat on the computer going, "Yeah, mate, I got 1 million Bitcoin. I'll be rich one day." Nah, now it's like these motherfuckers are moving trillions of dollars of Bitcoin, probably weekly, if not daily.
Shit. All on OTC because they don't want people to know the real value. They don't really want people to know the real. Like I think like the divergence in how when we look at CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, and there's like a lot of wash trading or whatever, and it looks like certain it reports the Bitcoin market being like 8 times more inflated than it really is. How do we know that's not just OTC volume? You know what I'm saying? But they just say it's inflated, but it's really just OTC volume, because we don't know how much volume is going through OTC. We don't know
It's true.
how much the reason why Bitfinex had to print $4 billion. We don't know why Bitfinex did that. They must have got that stimulus check, you feel me? And they're just like, well, here's our stimulus check right back into the crypto. So who knows, bruh? Who knows?
Exactly.
But we want price to go up. I want price to go up. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm cynical for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are really like losing jobs. People are really like, you know, just like how you said, you had to change, your whole lifestyle is about to change because you have no choice now.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I'm looking at this like, I want this thing to go up, because then it proves me right. You know, it proves me that this thing is like, it's really better than the dollar you have now.
Well, I think if any out of anything, really, is this recent struggle has proven that it's stable. And what I mean by that is, yeah, it dropped in price and whatnot, but the infrastructure for it all is not affected, even during a crisis like this.
It's
Compared
like,
to the standard system where the banks are closing, banks are on limited systems, you know. I mean,
oh,
here in
yes,
Cyprus,
yes,
here's an
yes.
example, mate. Here's an example. At the moment, you can only withdraw a certain amount from the ATM per week. So you could have a fancy card that says, yeah, you can take out $5,000. No worries, take that out. Not anymore. And here in Cyprus, all ATMs and your accounts are restricted to per week how much you can take out cash because of this crisis.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do they expect you guys to pay for your stuff if they're not only funneling you your money?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you're not telling my dude here, like, hey, rent doesn't have to be paid. Oh, you don't have to pay rent, but then like you'll have like 3-4 months of rent ready to get paid all at once. I don't think that's happening, bro. You know
Oh,
what I'm
mate, well,
saying?
we're on rent freezes here. Like, so if we can't afford it, you don't have to pay it, basically. But you when this is all over, you got to pay the bill. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, at the end of all this, they'll lift that restriction of how much you can take out and take out of an ATM. But obviously, you can still use your cards as much as you want. And I suppose in a way, it's making more people use their card, which I suppose is actually a good thing for the public health because cash is dirty. So if more people start using their card out of this, it's kind of a benefit. So I think that's probably more why they've done it than
So this benefits going electronic all the way.
yeah.
It's almost like what do you ever think like what this world is gonna look like in 10 years?
Mate,
Like 10
if you'd
years?
asked me a few months ago, change,
Wait.
we'll have advancements in this and that. But
Well,
I
hold up,
think this
you're
thing,
breaking in and out. Okay, so say that again, because you broke in and out a little bit right there.
sorry, let me close this stuff. Got too much open. Yeah. Like if you'd asked me like before the new year, I would have said things are gonna stay the same, advancements in technology and blah blah blah, but not much. But I think with this outbreak, things are gonna massively change because of it.
Because we can't instantly recover. There's no such thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have at least maybe June, July, August is probably when we're gonna probably feel a recovery in just normal markets.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's not so much that, it's the fact that like we don't really know what to do. Like we've never lived through something like this. We kind of have and haven't. Like people are saying, oh, it's just like when we had the Spanish flu, but not really, because when we had the Spanish flu, the government's kept it from us all. We didn't know about it until after and it had been dealt with. And also there was a big fat war going on called W1, where we were kind of preoccupied and already in a system of restricted movement and so on because of the war. So that happened and we didn't even really know much. We had change because of the war, not because of the virus. This time, though, we don't have it being kept from us. We all know what's going on. And we're actually having normal, everyday people, just individuals, are actually having to make big changes in their lives already just to have some sort of continuation on at the moment. Like, for
Mm.
example, we're only allowed out once a day. So if I need to go out for something, I need to make sure I've got enough cigarettes or enough Rizzler and papers and blunts and all the other shit I need. Because I can't just nip out down the shop now. And not just that, I have to think about like, well, I'm going to wash my hands before I go out now. And as soon as I come in, I put all the stuff by the door, close the door, go in the bathroom, wash my hands, take everything out, wipe it down, whatever I think needs to, and then put the bag in the bin. You know, that's a massive change to my life. I never used to do that. When I walked in the door, I just get all the shit, roll one up, put the telly on, whatever. But now there's this thing that I have to do because this is having such an impact on our lives. You know,
Yeah.
I think because of this, it's going to have a massive impact long term as well. Like, here's another one, right? I did a stream with my Greek Cypriot friend that lives here in Cyprus. And in Cypriot culture, there's this big thing about like kissing women on the cheek, like 3 times, left, right, left, yeah? That is pretty much stopped overnight. And this is a cultural thing that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years here. And yet, literally overnight, it stopped. This goes on for long enough. People are not going to go back to it because they can, because the new norm will be not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's scary. You're essentially losing a part of culture now. Like your whole culture has just changed. And that's frightening. You know, because that
That's
reminds
what happens all the time throughout civilization is our culture changes and adapts with the times, you know. Most of the time it was through conquest and brutality, but every now and then, you know, a virus comes along and makes us change our cultural ways for a reason.
Mm. And so you think this is one of them? You think this is
I
like
think
one of these moments? Because you have to think about it. If we have had all these historical moments in the past, what makes you think that we're not making historical moments now? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I wish I was part of the great whatever. Like, what is our time going to be known for? The great what blah blah blah, where everything changed and they didn't even know that they were changing history the way they were working with things. The early Bitcoiners, the first 100,000 people.
I think I'll give you an example of what it could be like in, say, 100 years. Is there'll be, or even sooner, really, is that we're going to be looking back at this time and going, that's how we used to cure cancer. Like, look, we look at things now, we're like, shit, we used to give people leeches on them to do some weird shit that they thought they had when it turned out it wasn't even that. Or we used to like do blood draining where we put a hole in your skull because you had a headache and shit like that. We look back at that now and go, that's barbaric. How could we do that? But I reckon in 50 years, at best, really, we'll be looking back at this era and going, shit, we gave radiation to people because we thought it could cure cancer. Fuck, that's barbaric.
That's barbaric.
Because technology and everything is advanced so much that, you know, they don't need to give us radiation to cure cancer.
Would you think they'd give that to the regular populace? You think they'd give that to regular people?
What do you mean?
Because, like, I know there's like a conspiracy that like there's a lot of cures for things, but of course, you know, the hospitals, all they do is they, or at least anything in medication, they're not meant to cure you of anything. They're meant to treat you, because it's more money to treat you than it is to cure you of an ailment or a disease. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there has been. I would say that yeah, I know the conspiracies you're on about. I don't think that any of them are real, but there has been instances where the pharmaceutical company has put something on the market, knowing that it's got a side effect and being like, we'll make money on that. You know, like the opium crisis, really. That's like a big example.
Right. Okay.
But I don't think that they're like, they've got a cure for things like cancer and whatnot, because for world leaders, especially in democracies, it's basically in democracies, you need to have your populace needs to be healthy and educated for your economy to sustain and flourish. Yeah. So if you have an ill and stupid populace, your economy is not going to grow. So keeping everyone in chains, like keeping them ill and pumping them with drugs, it's not going to do your economy much good. So really, I would say it's a bad way to do it if you're a leader and you're just promoting drugs that don't work and things like that is bad for democracy. I can see it in like a authoritarian world because you don't want them people rising up and overthrowing your dictatorship because, you know, that's why in dictatorships, education is poor and healthcare is poor. Very poor. Non-existent most of the time.
Oh my! I see you're really into politics. Like you can break it down.
Yeah, I love this shit.
And you can
Love
really,
analyzing it and
bro.
trying to
Now go
see the
ahead.
world.
See, I gotta stop cutting you off because I gotta stop doing that. But no, that I like you really like dived into it and like really broke it down in multiple different pieces, and I appreciate that. Wow. Now it makes me think, can I do that with Bitcoin?
Well, that, in a way, it's kind of what I'm getting to, really. Sum up is
Yeah.
culture changes and adapts over time. I think this is going to be one of those massive times. And I think the digital currencies are going to become more and more integrated, especially blockchain technology, because of this. We've realized that, oh shit, yeah, we can't really rely on the banks because they're all run by humans. And
Yeah.
well, the biggest flaw in humanity is our body. We can get diseases, we get ill, and so on. So if we can help alleviate some of our problems in society by replacing it where effective with technology, we should do it. And I think currency and payment for items is one of those areas. I mean, it's massively, like, take for example, do you know that most of your notes in your pocket, 90% of them are going to be covered in cocaine, and not your cocaine. I'm talking someone else's.
Yeah.
And they've had their nose in that note, and God knows what else. And we're all touching it, aren't we, all the time? Giving it to someone else. And have you ever, apart from money launderers, we don't actually wash money. You know, there isn't any real laundering going on, like cleaning the bills. The bank take them in and go, oh, we better clean these, disinfect them or whatever. Nada. That shit actually doesn't happen. So these notes that have been in circulation for like most of the time, they're 10 years. That's 10 years of bacteria, germs, and God knows what else on that note.
Forever how long it makes it too.
Until the bank decide to burn it.
Can't have this limpy thing walking around. Burn this.
Yeah, so
But they're
that's
printing
why I
so
say
much
that.
every day though.
I mean, now we're getting into how the whole US government and the federal system and currency of the system works. And that basically comes down to, basically, in my opinion, it comes down to human error. And that's what I like about Bitcoin, is because Bitcoin is set. That's it. Once that's produced, that is it. And it's truly, this is what I like about, you know, when you get the hardcore right wingers, like the hardcore capitalist wingers,
Yeah.
they're like, free market, the market will decide, let the market decide, let it go. They're kind of right in the sense of like, yeah, the market will decide, but what the problem is the market truly isn't free to do that and to rectify itself. And that's where I think crypto changes that. Yeah, the market will be free to, you know, go with trades and people buying stocks and shares and using said currency. But with the current system, it at the end of the day still has control by our government, be it in America, yours is more the Federal Reserve, which is a mixture of your president, your Senate, your banking network. In England, it's different. The Bank of England is owned by the government. So if the Bank of England decides something, it's pretty much because the government have said so, you know? We don't have a weird system like you do in America where it's split up between the current administration, the Senate, and then this weird system where you have banks involved. It's crazy. But anyway, ours is more centrally controlled by the government. But again, it's run by humans. And that's where I think, like, maybe if we put the whole thing onto a cryptocurrency system, and then the markets would truly be free to go on what people are trading. So as long as like we would be able to withstand on the financial system things like this virus happening, basically. Like, when this first started hitting the West, mainly America, the markets were fucking falling like crazy. But then they started printing money and whatnot to bounce it back up. And I think if it had happened more, like if the financial system was more on like the blockchain technology, yeah, that would have happened. But you would have seen that people would have still carried on trading, and then it would have basically just. That's when I'm like, yeah, they're right. Those people that say let the market sort it out, because then that's when it would sort itself out. We wouldn't need to print off more Bitcoin to say.
You're correct. You're 100% right. Because I feel like, well, Bitcoin, you know, people look at like the stock to flow model or whatever, and the 4-year cycles, and the longer we have 4-year cycles, the more that it just keeps fluctuating that way. The more it's going to become a norm. And I feel like when that continues to become a norm, when the halvening is not an event anymore, when it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, everyone knows what happens during the halvening, we get less Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? When a mass majority of people actually understand that, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember the last one. It was during when got president. Yeah. That's when the normalization and the slow creep of, wait, why do I use this other system when this system clearly works and has been working for the past 15 years, 20 years? It's still working, still going, still doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then people are going to really start questioning, why don't they have any? And that's when the slow crawl, the slow creep of people just migrating to a new system. And
well, it's not just that, but I think most of the revolution of the crypto is going to come from like countries in Africa.
Oh yeah,
severely poor countries, and that's what I think the crypto community don't talk about enough. Is like, I don't think Bitcoin is going to get mass adopted like people think it will. What I think is going to happen, because the problem with Bitcoin is that I go into a shop and I want to buy a drink, yeah, I can't really pay with Bitcoin. I can, but the transaction takes a while. The shop guy ain't going to want. I don't want to stand in the shop waiting 30 minutes for the transaction for the guy to say he's received it and whatnot. Obviously, there is now cryptocurrencies that do pretty much go in instantaneously. So those are ones that are going to really make it. And also these ones that do that, and also that have a massive amount of user base already and infrastructure, because this is the other problem, is there's not really infrastructure to do where I can walk into a shop and buy that can of pop that I want. You know, I can't just walk in. If they had a system where all the users, all the POS system can be in one, in a way, or be multiple, that, you know, can have, pay with multiple different currencies, and that the owner of the shop knows that he's got the money straight away and that you've got your product, and it can actually be usable in the real world. Like, basically, we need to think of cryptocurrencies more becoming like our debit cards in a way. The debit card will be the source of payment that I reckon will stay, but the funds will be of different sources. Like, there's this company. Like, there's this company called Revolut, and they're slowly integrating it. They've just moved into the American market, actually. And what with them, you sign up, you do your KYC, and you get a bank account, yeah. And they give you 3 different types of accounts. They give you a US dollar account, a British pound account, and a euro account. They just moved into the Americas, so that's why they brought the dollar. But they're also integrating Ripple, XRP, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin. At the moment, though, you're basically buying it from them, and you can only really send it to other users, and you can only sell it to them. But their long-term plan is to open it up, because at the moment it's all, you can send it to other users. So say, for example, you were on Revolut, I could ping you over Bitcoin. Problem is, it's on your Revolut card. But on the other hand, if you went to the shop, at the moment, technically, you would be paying with Bitcoin, because they'd be like, oh yeah, you're going to pay on. The difference is the card is the bit in between that's taking your Bitcoin and paying in US dollars, you know?
Yeah. And so, and so they kind of work like crypto.com, but not the same way. I think crypto.com, they can you can send and like send it to an outside wallet, but they like to get you to like keep your funds there so that you can earn interest on them and stake on them because you need a certain amount to stake and whatnot. And
Right.
so, yeah, it sounds like crypto.com as well. And so that I see it that way. It's the thing is like we're gonna need the stable coins, and when we need the
Yeah.
stable coins, we're gonna need that as like a form of like we're gonna have to have the stable coin. When I swipe the card, it's gonna automatically take it out of stable coin. It's not gonna take it out of any other wallet that has Bitcoin or whatever, but take it out and do it without me having to do anything with it. You know, it's just there in the
Yeah.
background. And so that way, you know that if the merchant is accepting a stable coin, and we'll just say USDC, and if they're
Yeah.
accepting USDC, boom, perfect, everything is clear. And the way they could actually really make this stuff work is paying in USDC, you get like a small discount, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everything's like just a little bit cheaper. So that's where I see how this should work as like a payment section.
Mm.
And hopefully that it turns out that way, but we'll see. Like, because I don't see people like getting their own Bitcoin wallet and doing all like that's just for people who want to understand how this thing really works and want to protect themselves in the long run.
Yeah.
But other than that, majority of people just want to, you know, just want to see what it is right now. Want to see if it's really like a good investment. And until we move away from the investment section of Bitcoin and it just being Bitcoin, you know what I mean? I think that's when everything's gonna really change. But that's not gonna happen for like another 50 to 100 years, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't see that happening for a very long time. But then again, technology moves faster than what we think, so who knows?
This is very true. I signed up recently to this new company that basically they're a they're a crypto bank account, but they issue you a Visa card. So you say you dumped in like $100 of Bitcoin, it stays in Bitcoin all the time, and the only time the transaction happens, the fees and whatnot kick in, is you go into a shop and you pay for something. Say it's $50, then it will sell $50. Well, what it does the transaction for you, deducts $50 of Bitcoin from your account basically, and then that's it. But the problem is it's terrible for cash withdrawals. Like, cause sometimes, bro, you got to pay for things with cash, yeah. Because let's just say there's certain industries that haven't moved over to a more non-cash
Oh yeah, of
orientation.
course, of course, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
So you need cash, right? And this is the problem with a lot of these withdraw like card things for cryptocurrency. Having a Bitcoin account connected to a debit card basically is they're terrible on the cash withdrawal. It's like you can withdraw $200 a month. It's like, what? You expect me to survive on $200 cash? Nah. I need more. Or you live in a country where I do, where I have to pay my rent in cash as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So then I have to faff about where I'm like, oh great, I've got enough to pay my rent in Bitcoin, say. Great, now I have to go and sell that Bitcoin, transfer it to my bank account, and then I can go to the cash point and withdraw it. Pain in the butt. That's why I liked the Revolut thing where it's all in one place. But again, fees on withdrawing. That's
Oh,
what
of
I hate
course,
about cash, man.
and oh my god, those
And I
fees must
want
be horrendous.
they can be, man. They can be. And this is what I want is out of this really simplify it all, is I want more digital payment for stuff. We have the technology. We've had the technology for ages. And a lot of people do. I mean, I do as much as I can pay on card or use my phone to do like the wireless payment thing. I don't know if you Americans have that yet. But even our cards are contactless. You can just tap your card on the machine and it deducts however much it is. It's only a limit of £30, but still, I want to see more of people using it because so many people still use cash, man. If we can get rid of cash, happy days.
Yeah, wow. Once we go all this digital though, everything's gonna be tracked. Are you ready for everything to be tracked? Everything to be
Mate,
watched?
we already are. We already are. Like, let's be honest. everything you do is on a record somewhere. Someone somewhere is record for some reason. And that's the society we live in now. We have decided as a society that we're willing to sacrifice certain bits of information. And to be honest with you, this is my European opinion. So our laws are different. With what laws we have when it comes to companies selling our data and collecting our data, I'm kind of all right with it. I don't mind. I get a shit ton of free stuff. I get ads that they think are relevant to me, which a lot of the time they kind of can be. But sometimes I'm just like, why are you advertising this to me? What makes you think I want this? But, you know, I think that, yeah, it's fine. What we've got here in Europe, especially, it's not a problem. Like metadata, to be honest, I'm all for the governments having quite a bit of metadata, especially when it comes to health. And like, for example, during this outbreak, governments are kind of approaching mobile phone networks going, look, we don't want names and stuff, but we want metadata to, you know, to kind of have a map to see if people are actually staying at home. And they're giving it over, basically. And that I'm kind of like, actually, yeah, it makes sense. It's a good idea. It helps us have an idea. Is the process helping? And this is the thing, is I think when it comes to finding cures and us advancing as a civilization, these are some of the things that we're going to have to talk about and see if we're okay with it. Me personally, I think metadata, fine, not a problem. Take it. It can be useful, be very useful. Like the NHS are working with Google, NHS is National Health Service of Britain. They're working with Google to help use metadata to help predict diabetes or kidney stuff, something like that, and help treat this stuff. And if it can be used and there can be scientific advancements, like going to see the doctor, if we can help work with technology, we can build sensors and shit in our phones to help us warn us that we've got a problem, you know, and not have to do much. Or even to the point where a doctor's appointment could be virtual. Like the doctor has access to your phone, he can take your temperatures, various other, say, things, maybe even, who knows, maybe even in the future they'll even be able to take a blood sample, you know?
Wow, you're the scary thing is, like, what you're depicting is like it's so believable. It's easily believable that's exactly where we're gonna go.
I think it is, and I think we should. I think it's going to be amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some negatives.
There's a lot of negatives. Because these systems will still be controlled by people, and people will still have their own self-interests. And
yeah, so you make laws to make sure those things don't, you know.
And that takes time, and that takes a lot of but we're gonna have to get into this the next time we talk, bro. Because yeah, I'm about to have to wrap this up. But bro, I really like your point of perspective. Like, your point of perspective is like so different from mine, and I just enjoy like getting your point of view. It really like stimulates like thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you, man.
Hell yeah. But guys, so I'm gonna have to let Jay go. Guys, you gotta go check out the War Kettle YouTube channel. That shit is fire, bro. If you into like just learning about politics in different countries and whatnot, definitely listen to his podcast. Jay, is there anywhere else you want everybody to go find you at, man?
You can find me on Discord, which you can get a link from pretty much most of my videos on my channel, or follow me on Twitter, get a link there. But yeah, you'll find me on Twitter or Discord. Of course, I'm
gonna drop the link in here. The link's in the description below, of course.
Too kind, brother.
All right, then, guys. Other than that, take it easy. Peace.